Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tia, aka Teacup Simmer, and this is another speed build. So I decided to do the Rorybuilds challenge for the month of March. If you guys have never heard of the Rorybuilds challenge, it is by Rory Plays The Sims, and I will leave a link to her channel somewhere in the description box below. But Rory is amazing. She plays The Sims, she does live streams, she's done a really cool challenges. She's done the Drifter challenge, she's done I think the Princess Bachelorette challenge. It's really fun, but she also put together this Rorybuilds challenge that has been like blowing up Twitter for the past few days, and so I decided to do one of her builds, and it usually has requirements for the amount of money you're allowed to use, the requirements for what the house list to look like, and she included that you can use about 70,000 simoleons, and she includes what the layout is supposed to be, and then you pretty much do whatever you want. So I'll put an overlay of what the layout is supposed to look like some right now on the video so you guys can kind of see it while I'm messing with the roof. But I really wanted to try this just because I have a really hard time coming up with build ideas. Like, I like building, I do, especially when I have characters to build for, but it's really hard for me to come up with ideas for like layouts, and like I'm not an architect, like I don't know different things. Sometimes it's just kind of like, oh, this looks kind of cool, sort of, kind of, not really. So I kind of wanted to build a house that it's based off of the original layout, like you guys can see on the screen before, but I wanted to do it kind of like an idea. And so the sim that you guys can see in the corner down there, who keeps getting like rolled over by the camera, he is a gardener, and so I ended up like changing everything up so that I made this a house for him specifically. And so I made it kind of like a green white theme, like slightly modern on the inside, house for a gardener, and I thought that was really cute, and I kind of made a story up for him. So my idea for the story is that this gardener is actually a transgender sim who really wants a family, and so she bought a huge plot of land in this really big house that has like a lot of space in it, and then had it renovated for her and two teenage sims that she adopted. And so I'm actually doing a create a sim for them sometime. I'm either going to put it up this week or sometime next week, but I did create a sim for that household too, so you guys will be able to see them. But I think they look really cute, so I kind of based the idea of what I did this house for with like the ideas of this house for that family. So that's kind of why you see that I put together certain things the way I do. And it took me a while to figure out how I wanted the colors to look for this, because if you guys look around Twitter and a lot of other places, there's lots of different ways that people put this house together, because the layout is exactly the same. Like, the porch is supposed to be a certain way, there's supposed to be a study, there's supposed to be a lot of stuff. So I was trying to figure out a way to how to make this as unique as possible, and so I just kind of winged it and thought I didn't want to make it like exactly the same, but I did want to make it similar. But I ended up coming up with like a pretty good like aesthetic that I'm actually proud of, so I don't actually mind how it looks. And if it's you guys, this should be up on the gallery under the hashtag Teacup Simmer if you guys look that up, or if you guys look under my origin ID, which is Teacup_Simmer1, you'll be able to find this house and I think a bunch of other stuff that I've been building up on the gallery. But I really did have a lot of fun building this. I actually built this the same day that we reached 1,000 subscribers, which, oh my god guys, we reached 1,000 subscribers. I'm still kind of freaking out about it. Like, I didn't realize that there'd be so many people who would actually be interested in like watching the channel, and like being able to like see and spend time with me and my series and like all the stories that we've been building. And I'm just super duper pleased with everything, how everything's turned out, and how everybody seems to have like glommed on to the channel. So thank you guys so much for spending time. If you guys are new to the channel, if you guys are some of the newer teacups that have just shown up, hello, my name is Tia, aka Teacup Simmer. I do stories, lots of Sims 4 challenges, speed builds. Now that I have an actual schedule, if you guys stick around a lot, I have a ton of different things that I end up doing, so I may not stick to the schedule all the time, but most of the time when I do, when I'm in the mood and when I'm like really on top of things, I'm actually really bad at procrastinating. You guys, people who've been here realize that. People who are new, you will learn very quickly that it takes me a bit to kind of get into the swing of things. Sometimes I end up forgetting what I'm supposed to be putting out, or I just won't put something out, or I'll put like 6 things out at once. Just depends on what my creativity says and how the world speaks to me that day. But I actually had a lot of fun building this house. I spent a lot of time like just trying to figure out what I wanted the like aesthetic to be. Like I wanted it to, like, I always go for wood floors. I'm not sure why. I think I just love wood floors. In real life, I hate wood floors. Like I absolutely despise them. Wood floors are like horrible because you have to worry about getting stuff on them, and it's no, I'll just take like good solid tile or something and then put a carpet down. Like I'm totally there for carpets. And oh well, there's the pantry. I added a bunch of different stuff that wasn't actually required to in the build. Like the in the like little screenshot, you guys would have been able to see it. There is actually a section for a pantry, for a laundry room with like a washer and dryer, and I kind of add different spaces like that into the build. Like I added an area right there for the pantry, and I ended up adding like a nectar cooler in there because someone likes their drink, because I know I do. I've been staying with my parents for a while, so I haven't been as into the libations as I usually am, but most of the time I'm what my family lovingly calls a lush. I love like me some tequila or something like that, but most of the time I'm a good girl, I promise. But let's see, what can I talk about? I never know what to talk about during builds. Like I don't really know what to say. I don't really know what to focus on. Like you guys can see what's happening in the build. Like I don't really need to explain it. Like I'm putting all this random clutter around because I like clutter and I think it makes things look nice, and I'm super duper anal, so I don't know what to put in certain places, so everything kind of looks like I kind of like just scattered it around. And I'm saving again because I always worry that my game's gonna like shut down, because it's happened so often. Like my game overheats and then it shuts down and I forget to save and I'm left with nothing. Like I'm left crying next to my computer like, no, nothing is right, the world ends and everything is over. It's so horrible whenever my game shuts down, and that happens a lot when I record the Sims 3 Warrior Cats challenge. If you guys watched that challenge, shout out. I didn't end up posting anything last week, but today something's gonna go out tomorrow. I'm recording this speed build like actually like tonight. Like this speed build being recorded like pretty much the same day it's gonna go up. Like I'm pretty sure in the next like 2 hours before 12 o'clock the speed build should go up. I am horrible at like planning. Like I pre-recorded a bunch of stuff. Like I pre-record Drifter, I pre-record our 4 Immortal Siblings challenge, I pre-record builds, I pre-record Create Sims. I actually can pre-record Create Sims fairly quickly, but for some reason Warrior Cats is one of those ones that I try pre-recording. Like I try so hard and then I don't end up pre-recording it as often as I should. Like I end up pre-recording it like once or twice, and then the world will like implode and I'll just not end up doing it, and it just won't happen. And I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, I don't know how to go about it, but for some reason it just never happens. And I love Warriors. I love spending time on Warriors. It just never works out the way I want it to. So I'm going to end up spending a lot of time role-playing a bunch of cats for the next 2 hours so that that can go up. And no, not even 2 hours. Like, Warrior Cats takes me a legit 6 hours to record, you guys. And, like, it takes me 6 hours to finish. Like, it takes 6 hours per episode to complete completely finish it out, just because I have to pre-record and do the role plays and do all that fun jazz, and it's totally fun. Like I absolutely love it, but it's just a lot of extra work. And considering I'm a working gal, not that kind of working gal, but considering I'm a working lady, I do not have a ton of time to do that. This is why I usually try and spend all of that time recording over the weekend, like I told myself I would, but for some reason I spend a lot of time on builds. Like I'm a slow builder. For some reason this build takes, I think this build is like 23 minutes long because I sped it up, but for some reason this takes me like, not even, like I spent an entire night doing this build. Like I felt it was so bad. Like I spent so much time on it, and then I forgot that I was actually building, and then I forgot I was supposed to be talking to people on Twitter and calling my boyfriend. Like I forget so many things when I'm building. Like I'm super duper focused, which is a good thing and a bad thing, because I lose track of time. Like I lose track of all of the entire, like the universe. Like everything could have exploded and I would not have noticed. And I actually had fun doing this. I really want us to have laundry in The Sims. Does anybody else want that? Like I really want laundry. Like I feel like this should be a thing. Like I don't understand why one of the major parts of life are like excluded from The Sims 4 right now. And I didn't even utilize it that much in The Sims 3. Like I think in The Sims 3, it didn't really occur to me that much, and I also didn't play The Sims 3 the same way I played The Sims 4. I'm not sure why, but it just didn't happen. And so now I'm just kind of like, well, why don't we have laundry? Why isn't there like a dishwasher and like washer and dryer? And why isn't it like, why don't we have to change our clothes every once in a while? Like why, like there should be some form of like fallout from not changing your clothes, or from like if you don't change your outfit every few days or like every couple times, there should be some type of fallout. Like your sim should be like, there should be like a moodlet that says, oh well, your sim is grouchy because they've been wearing the same clothes continuously. Like something like that. Like I feel like that would be so true to form, and it would make it so not like unique, but really immersive. Like it would make it feel like time's passing. Like I think that's one of the major things that everybody's talking about, especially when it comes to like the need for like seasons and for toddlers and for things like that, to feel like there's a form of like time passing. Like not that it's just like in perpetual summer and everyone's happy and like no one dies, and like, because it feels like especially if you guys noticed in like the drifter that I put up today, like it doesn't feel like time passes. It feels time passes in a weird way in The Sims 4, because you don't see any form of change to the world aside from occasionally Sims will die randomly in a restaurant. Like you don't see any of those changes, so it feels really strange when like someone will randomly die when you're just like, well, I just started, or oh, I didn't feel like there's any difference. But if we had seasons, or if we had like some form of impact to what Sims do day to day, it would actually feel like there was some form of change. And I don't really know what I was going for with this room. Like I always have this weird inkling to go like the mix of like modern and boho. Like I really like that sofa, but for some reason I didn't really know what to do with it. I also wasn't sure how to go about like what color scheme. When I first started doing it, I was just like, oh, I definitely want to use these counters because I love the counters, but I don't know what colors to do it with. And in my last build, the Vampire Zen build, I'll leave like a link in the card on the video, but I did a Vampire Zen build, which is like very much like vegetarian, gardener, green, whatever the heck, vegetarian vampire themed build that was also really green, and like it was a different kind of green, don't get me wrong, but it was still really green. And so I don't know why, but I seem to gravitate towards green. It's also because I'm probably the first thing I come up with is like gardener when I started playing, and it's either green or like what's it called, or blue, and those are like seem to be like my go-to colors when I build. Green or blue seem to be those colors. But when I built, what is it, and I did a current household, so that I'm not sure when I'm going to end up posting, but when I'm going to end up putting it up, probably sometime over the weekend, but not the weekend, but on like Friday or something. I I did a current household, and that one, the entire house is like this weird, like dark brown grays and like the occasional blue and occasional gold and stuff. That one's actually really different from what I usually do. But the entire point of this like build thing was just to kind of get me building in like a different way, that with like some form of restrictions. I'm not even sure, how do people, like, I've seen lots of different people do builds. How do people get the like what is it called, that weird thing that people do with the closets? For some reason people are able to get the closets to be 2 spaces, like instead of 4, and I don't understand how they do that. Like, how do you do that? Like, I really want to do that, but I don't get it. And this room is the teenage boys room. So there, like I said, the idea that I had in my head was that the Sims who were going to live here was the transgender gardener and his adopted kids. And so I had one room for the boy and one room for the girl. They're both actually not related. The kids aren't related to each other, and the boy I thought of him more as like angsty. Like, that was my idea. He was going to be angsty, he was going to be into music, and he was going to be like the kid who really wants to become a vampire. Like, that's my, like, I thought he would be like really into vampires and really into like rebelling and being his own person and yada yada yada, you know, like the idea that people have of like teenagers. I thought that's who he'd be. Like, that's why I picked those colors for him, like the dark black and the black and red, and I thought it looked kind of like I said, it looked really angsty. And so this is the girls' room, and I picked purple and like light, like black and like white for her colors, and she's gonna be really studious. I put like a camera in her room. Her colors, like I said, are really purple and turquoise and kind of like similar to her brothers, but she is going to be more of a, like, not really uptight, but more put together. She's pretty conservative. That's what I was thinking. She's not really uptight, she's just conservative. And so she doesn't like to show a lot of skin. She's very studious, things like that. And I really liked the idea of her and what her like room looked like. I was trying to figure out how to decorate with like the limited amount of simoleons that I had. Like, I didn't want to overdo it, but I also wanted to make it sure that the rooms actually looked like someone could live here. Like, I probably could have added some more like slight decorations or whatever, but I didn't really know what to add, and I didn't want to go crazy. Also because, like, you even see closer to the end where I have to start selling stuff so that I can do like the basic landscaping out front, and then I do like a small like porch job in the back that leaves me with like 70 something simoleons. I had to get rid of that bed. That bed was gonna kill me. But I'm pretty sure I've gotten to the point where the this is supposed to be the gardener's room. She is she's pretty there isn't really anything, there's much to do with her room. It was pretty basic. I actually really liked it, just because it looked really cozy. I always have a hard time figuring out what to do for bedrooms, especially, like I said, if I don't have like a clear idea of the character's personality. And for the gardener, I really didn't know what I wanted to do with her. So I just kind of went with this idea of like the light yellows and like a slightly brighter room with a little bit of a darker wood than the rest of the house. Then I just work on the bathrooms eventually, and bathrooms are pretty simple, especially because closer to the end I was having a hard time with money, and I always pick the same like tile for bathrooms. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know why, but I always pick the same tile. Oh, look, I found the laundry basket, and I just didn't know what to do with it. And then I have to get rid of some, I think I get rid of the clutter box. Yeah, I get rid of that. I get rid of the tissue paper, I think. What's it called? Yeah. But I think this is like closer to the end. Like I said, I don't really know what to talk about during builds, you guys. Like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what you guys kind of expect from me. Like, I'm pretty much sitting here staring at the screen like, yeah. What else can I talk about? what have I done recently? I recently moved to the Atlanta area in the U.S. If you guys have never, if I know like lots of people that watch my channel are from the U.S., but I know some of you guys are from Canada and from the U.K. So hi guys. But I recently moved to Atlanta in the U.S. and I am new. So I have friends in like that from work, and everybody at my job is so much older than me. Not like a ton older than me, and not like, oh my god, Tia, why are you hanging out with people who wear Depends? Like that's not that old. But I talk to people who probably wear Depends on the phone. I've told you guys before, I work in healthcare. So I end up talking to a lot of people who need geriatric doctors and have a hard time understanding me when I talk. So that's also because I talk really fast and I don't really know what it means to slow down and like speak clearly into the phone, which it seems kind of ironic considering I do this in my free time. But like I said, all of my friends are a lot older than me. They're all like 25 and older, which in like this grand scheme of things is actually not that much older than me if you guys think about it, considering that we're all pretty much dealing with the same stuff, which is, oh, how am I going to pay a bill? How am I going to like get my car? How am I going to like afford food? I don't have to worry about all of that stuff, considering I'm very, very lucky and I have parents who love me, and I don't really have to worry too much about if I'm going to be able to afford maybe afford food or anything like that, just because right now they're making it so that I don't have to worry about that stuff. But currently I had such a hard time with this stupid sidewalk. There it goes. It looks better now. It took me forever to figure out the sidewalk, and it took me forever to figure out the landscaping. Like I really wanted to do something cute, but I wanted to make it simple because I had no money, like zilch, nada, like $0. But it turned out really cute. But like I said, all the people I work with are a lot older than me, so it feels really weird trying to like hang out. Like we have fun, like we do, and I appreciate all of them. And like one time we went out over the weekend, and it was for a friend's birthday party, and so we went out, had drinks, did some fun stuff, and it was really cool and like interesting, and like especially because I didn't do stuff like that in school. Like in college I went out, like I can probably count it on two hands how often I went out, just because like I always had a lot of stuff to do, and I went out for school. Like I was in the band at my college, and so we went to national championships with the football team. We went to like different cities on the weekend, so like my entire time was pretty much booked all the time. Like I didn't have free time all that much, and I was always running something or part of something, so most of my free time was spent reading or playing a video game, and then got to the point where now you guys see me, I'm here, so yay. But most of my time was spent like out doing things with other people, so or doing things that were like school related, so I didn't really have enough time to like go out and do stuff like that. So it was never like a really big thing for me, but now I have to be social and help people. And oh look, the build's almost done. Like look, there's a little baby porch and screenshots, yay. So if you guys enjoyed this build, please let me know. Please leave a like in the comments below, or no, not leave a like in the comments, oh my gosh. Please check it out on the gallery. Like I said, my user ID and my origin ID is teacup_simmer1, or if you guys want to look it up under the hashtag teacupsimmer, there should not be any modded content in there, but if in case there is, just check and see. There shouldn't be anything modded, so you guys should be able to just look it up that way. If you guys enjoyed the build, if you guys want me to do more builds like this, please let me know down in the comments. Give me suggestions for builds, because I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. But if you guys enjoyed it, please leave a like and please subscribe if you really love me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.